Hi guys, it's John from A&E Construction and you're watching Build with A&E. Today we're going to show you how to grout the tiled floor. So first of all, start off with the grout. We use Flex. There's loads of different ones, loads of different applications. This is perfect for what we're doing. We've got a grey colour, so I'm going to show you first of all how to mix it up. Open your bag. With grout, you don't need a massive amount. A little goes quite a long way. Obviously, depending on your tiles. If you've got big tiles, you're going to need to use less because there's going to be less grout lines. We're using basically a floorboard tile, so it gives the effect of a wooden floor, but it's in a tile, so there's quite a few joints in there. But again, we're only going to mix a small amount because of the actual job that we're doing today. So pour a small amount in. Be more than enough for what we need. Plenty in there. Then we're going to add some water. So when you're mixing up grout, it doesn't want to be too thin, you want it to be quite thick because you're filling joints with it. So if it's too thin, all that will happen is it will just run into it, it will take forever to go off and you won't be able to apply it in properly. You're looking for a really thick sort of pasty consistency. You'll see when I get there, just keep mixing, you want a smooth and lump-free consistency. Like I said though, you don't want it too runny because it needs to fill the joints in the tile without falling through too much, because otherwise when you come to sponge it off you'll end up wiping most of it out, sort of defeating the object really. Tiny bit more water in there, just a tiny bit, because there's a little bit of powder still in. There we go. Let's go around here so you can see a bit better. There's no powder left anywhere in there. If you're doing larger areas where with a smaller tile you're going to have a lot more grout lines, you may want to mix up a little bit more, but just check the instructions in the back of the pack. This one for example, you shouldn't mix up any more than you can use in 60 minutes, so that's an hour setting time for this. After that it'll become unusable and you have to throw it away, so obviously you don't want to waste it because some of the grouts can be quite expensive. There we go, this is the sort of consistency you're after. So it's quite thick but still workable. So this is called a grout float. Yeah, we'll be using this to squeeze the grout into the joints. Just get a bit, slap it on onto the floor like so, and then just work it into the joints. Just like that. Make sure you get it right in there. The idea of this is to form a seal, so no water or anything like that, any debris can penetrate through. Work it in like so, and then rub it off like that, and there you go. Fills the joint nicely, all the way across, nice and evenly. It's a relatively easy job this, to be honest, but obviously you need to make sure that you do it properly, otherwise it's going to look rubbish, it's going to fail, you might end up with holes in it. So just take your time over it, make sure you get every bit. This area that I'm doing here is actually going to be underneath the bath, so we're basically doing it just to protect any water that goes under there, to make sure it doesn't go through. You'll never see it, but again, it's still got to be a good job. Bit on the corner, there we go. Just like that. And use the blade to get it all up, get rid of the excess, just like that. Use a scraper or a gauge trowel or whatever you have. Get a bit more out. Squeeze it in again. Make sure, like I said, fill them gaps completely. Push it right in there. So holding your squidgy quite flat when you're pushing it in. And then when you come to scrape it off, a bit more of a sharp angle on it, like so, and then it pulls the excess away. Make sure you get right up to your skirtings as well. Don't want to end up with any holes in it. Water will get straight in there if you ever spill any water on there. Just work its way through the joint. It could cause you issues further down the line. See, I'm just working my way across the joint, like I said, with a flat squidgy to put it in, and then sharper angle to scrape the excess away. Give that mix back in with the grab a fresh bit out and repeat. And we're not going to be doing all of this floor today because, like I said, the bath's going in here. We're quite tight for space in this room. So we need to do this area first and then get the bath in and then move it across. Don't worry if there's a little bit still on there, because what we've got to do is wash it off afterwards anyway. If you look down the edge here, you can actually see how much it works into the tile just by squidging it down. If you look side on at the tile. Yeah, so that's why you need to make sure that you push it right in. Right, stage 2 of grouting. So, we've waited a few minutes, well, probably about 10 minutes really, and the grout is now dried enough for us to be able to sponge it up. If you have a look, you can see that the excess is dried pretty much fully, and the grout lines, when you touch it, there's no movement there at all. Yeah, it's just, you know, you can still feel it's a little bit moist, but I'm not pushing it in when I touch it. That's what you want. If it pushes in when you touch it or anything like that, leave it a little bit longer to dry, because all that's going to happen is, as soon as you put this sponge on, you're just going to wash it away, and then you're completely defeating the object of the grout joint. So you want some nice fresh water. I've used the same buckets before, but I'll clean everything out, and a sponge. There are much more expensive things out there to use. If you're a professional tiler, you want to obviously invest in the right gear, but as we don't do a lot of tiling ourselves, we normally use our mate at GN Tiling. Hi Greg, I know you're watching this. He normally does all this, but because of the way things work in this bathroom, I'm just doing a bit now. So as I don't do tiling all the time, I don't have the expensive tools, so I don't really have the need for them. So clean bucket and clean water and a sponge would do just right for this little thing now. Dip your sponge in. You don't want too much water, you just want it to be damp. Too much water, and again, you're just going to wash the grout out. Circular motion, figure 8, anything like that, just so you're nice and uniform over the tile. Just rubbing the excess off there. Can you see that in there? Yeah, nice and clean look, even just a nice clean line, getting rid of all the excess and not rubbing too much on the grout. If you look at it, nice, smooth finish on it. Yeah, we're going to repeat that process all the way across. See, I've not got too much water because, like I say, you don't want to wash that grout away. You just want to get rid of the excess. As soon as you get a dirty sponge, clean it off, squeeze it out, and continue. What you will find is that you'll have to do a few passes. You have to go over it quite a few times to get rid of all the excess. Because although now it looks clean, like you got rid of everything, once it's dry there'll be a residue left over. So again, you have to change your water, come back with a clean sponge, clean water, and go over it again. Just repeat the process as many times as you need to until all the residue's gone, and then you will have a lovely tiled floor. If you can see across the grout, now you're a bit closer to it. Nice, smooth finish. No holes or anything like that in it. If there are any holes, you might want to get a bit of grout if you've got any left over and squeeze it in and just leave that area for a little bit, just so it dries off again, and then just repeat the process that way. Very important, you have a nice, smooth, full line all the way across the joint. And there you go, easy as that. As you can see, all the excess is gone. Checked over all the joints, they're all looking nice and smooth, there's no holes anywhere, no imperfections, so I'm good, I'm happy with that. So now what I'll do is, as you can see, the water in here is pretty dirty now because of all the excess that we've got off in there, so I'll let that dry while I'm cleaning my bucket out, get some fresh water, go over it again, just to make sure there's no residue. And like I said, you have to repeat that as many times as you need to, just to make sure they're fully clean. And that's it. Leave it for as long as it recommends on the bag. So this stuff, for example, is 24 hours before you can fully walk on it. After that, it's yours to do with as you please. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure you like and also subscribe to the channel because we'll be doing plenty more stuff like this. If there's any questions or anything like that you've got, just leave comments in the box below and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching Build of A&E. I've been John. See you later.